5 for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 and 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 and 9. This one's for my top 10.
Focus.
Focus, yeah.
I focus on everything. I mean, I focus on one thing at a time. Most of you are engaged in 2, 3, 4 different endeavors, and you're not doing any of them very well. Focus on one. And I never get into business. I'm not looking to exit. But by the way, I said it yesterday. For those of you, and I read some emails from a couple of you, you have a business 2 years ago, and now you're doing 250,000 or 260,000 euros in revenue. That's geometric growth. You started from zero 24 months ago. You're now doing 250,000 euros. That's geometric growth. But now, what did I say yesterday? You start playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Focus. I mean, and it's a single key thing when you're an athlete. And I wasn't an athlete by any stretch of the imagination, but the world-class athletes I've had the privilege of working with, all the same thing, focus. If they're basketball players, and I had the pleasure of working with the Lakers back in their heyday, they wake up, they go to sleep with the basketball, literally. Footballers, they go to sleep, I mean, from the time they get up to the time they go to bed, that's all they think about is focus. I had a nurturing mother, but I had a dad that kicked the shit out of me. Beat me like a rented mule. And if my father was still alive, and I have uncles, and they'd say, Manny, you're too hard on Danny. And he would say, just as he looked into the camera and said, my son's successful not because of me, but in spite of me, he looked him in the eye and says, how's your program working out with your crackhead whore daughter? Because when they compared me, no matter how much I did wrong, my success, I don't know anything other than dropping the ball in center field, which I have nightmares about to this day. I've only had success. And when you've only had success all your life, I make money by accident. I don't know failure. I just don't. And it's infectious. And you start not hanging or chilling, exposing and not exposing yourself in a sexual way. Exposing yourself, I got to be careful about all these words now. And you start exposing yourself to high performance people. I mean, and you'll forget how to be a loser. You'll forget how to be a loser. Some people will never like me, and I will never give a f***. You worry about what they say. As I told Brian Rose 4 years ago, you have no idea how limitless your life becomes vis-a-vis goals when you don't give a shit what people think, say, or whisper about you. You have no idea. The world will not value me until I value myself. And the reason why people don't value you, kids, is because you don't value yourself. Competence is not, they will like me. Competence is, I'll be fine if they don't like me. Now, it's safe to say that I've never been worried about what people think of me. That's a truth. That's a truth. Jeff is worth about $150 billion, the founder of Amazon. This is what he looked like almost 20 years ago. 20 years ago, they laughed at him. 20 years ago, he wasn't worth $20,000, let alone $150 billion. Now he's got a company, roughly speaking, around $1 trillion. A little less, maybe $150 billion less because of the sell-off in the market, etc. But they laughed at him. He had an idea. He had a dream. Like him, I had a dream about 35 years ago. I am the first person on the planet that took an option for something he did not own public on a major stock exchange. I'm going to say, okay, I don't own that book, right? I paid him $1. I want an option. I'll give you $5 for that book a year from now. I took an option. I took that book, not owning it, and I sold it on the New York Stock Exchange for $150 million. That's what I did. And that was the beginning of my quantum leap. You want people with a like mind and that are better than you, smarter than you, more intelligent than you to get on your bus. But no one does know initially, up front. You have to try. You have to swing at the plate. A kid like you If you had to keep track of 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, what you do. When I first went to work for a Wall Street firm in 1972, they didn't really have any formal sales program, training programs. And so what they did is they give you the yellow pages. Call everybody in the yellow pages. And when you got through the yellow pages, call everybody in the white pages. And then when you got down to the white pages, you cold called every building that had more than 10 stories on Wall Street. Well, every building on Wall Street has 10 stories. And so you got to kiss a lot of frogs, Peña, before you're going to find a customer. And you got to turn over a lot of rocks. There was 25 years straight, from 1991 to 1996, I didn't take a day off. 25 years straight. 1991, 71 to 1996. 71 to 90, I didn't take a day off. A few months ago when we were working, I signed a deal for a TV show a few weeks ago, and they were doing research, and we discovered that where I lived in 1972 on 27th and Lexington, when I first went to Wall Street, it's now been torn down. We used to call the building the Bed Bug. Probably some of you live in the Bed Bug now. And then 12 years later, I was living in the Castle. 12 years. Yes, was a castle on my affirmations? Yes. Was a castle on my goals? Yes. Was a castle in my prayers? Yes. But I thought the castle was going to have a moat and have all kind of neat stuff. It doesn't have a moat, but it's a pretty neat place for those of you that have looked at it on Google. Because I continue to believe. I continue to believe. So I've gone from the barrio, that's where my house used to be, behind that chain link fence, and you can see between me and that brick wall isn't very much space. We had an 800 square foot house. I think that's 75 square meter house. Even some of you probably live in bigger houses than that. And of course, there I am with my lovely wife. On my 75th birthday, I needed a new Rolls Royce like I needed AIDS. So what did my wife give me for my 75th birthday? A Rolls just like the Queen has. So when we drive by, I go, just like she does. So you've got rich people, right? Most of you aren't hanging, not chilling with those people, are you? Nope. Why? You've got all kind of reasons why, don't you? I didn't go to school. That's what I got to say about all those reasons. I didn't either. But somehow I weaseled my way into people richer than that. In a good way. Because it was important to me to change my life. From being a barrio bad boy who almost killed his teacher when he was 12 years old. If success was important to you, you would have done something about it by now. But it's not too late. It's never too late. Success is like being pregnant. Everyone says congratulations, but nobody knows how many times you got. You have 3 million pores in your body. 3 million. I've been in every one of them at least twice in a bad way. I have a young mentee in the room who just recently got his first, and I'm not making light of rape and shit like that, but recently almost got his first financial raping here recently. And I have a lot of scar tissue because, you know, if I allowed people to disappoint me, I'd never get out of bed in the morning. Energy is in here. I happen to be in excellent physical condition. Not if I'm 72. If I'm 32, I'm in an excellent. But I work at it. Okay. And I have worked at it since 1974, what is now called biohacking. Mm-hmm. I started being aware of my physical condition. I test my blood every 6 to 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. I've got, you know, I told you yesterday I wasn't joking about my testosterone level. But I work at it. Okay. And but when I turn 60, I only drink when I'm traveling now or at the seminars. I don't drink, and I'm a vegan when I'm at home. Okay. Not because I believe in that vegan horse, but I lose weight like crazy when you're a vegan. When I was in Poland, as I said yesterday afternoon, I talked about some very successful kids, and I said, Jan, stand up. He's 22 years old. He's currently a student at Krakow University. He made €1 million last year, which is no big deal to me, but to most of you, €1 million is a big deal. Not one single student went up to ask him what his name was. Jan what? Because if they did, and he told them the tip, the secret sauce, they may feel some responsibility to try to do it themselves. And then when they failed, then they're You know most of the podcasts, most of the seminars, most of the various things that you study, you're not learning shit. Otherwise, why are you still here? With the greatest respect to Michael. There's no reason. When you leave here today, after the Q&A is over, and I've already told you everything's free on my website. And when you see me in the airport, don't come up and talk to me. Don't touch me. I don't give a shit if you live or die. My obsession is to drive as many of you lazy bastards across the goal line as humanly possible before I die. That's it. If I have to hurt you, spit on you, call your mother a whore, I don't care.